Okay guys, so this next video is on rectangular prisms. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, but I need to make sure that we understand the difference between surface area and volume. So this is my rectangular prism here. It's basically a box, right? Okay. For volume, like we talked about before, volume is filling this box up. How much can I put on the inside of this box? That's volume. Surface area is covering the outside of this box. So when it comes to surface area, I always tell my kids to think about Christmas. What do we do at Christmas? We cover our presents with wrapping paper. We cover the outside of the whatever it is that we're wrapping. But in this case, it's going to be a rectangular prism. So what I mean by covering the outside is there's one rectangle, there's two, there's three, there's four, there's five, and then the other side will make six. So we have to cover all six of these rectangles. That's what surface area is. Volume was find the area of the base and multiply by the height, so we know how much area is on the inside of the three-dimensional figure. Again, multiply by or take the area of the base, multiply by the height, and that will let you know how much area is on the inside of this rectangular prism. Surface area is covering the outside. So when we're covering the outside, it's going to be six sides for a rectangular prism, and you can see it right here. I've given you the three-dimensional version and the two-dimensional version. Of course, there won't be a net for a volume problem, because if you took a box and laid it out as a net, in other words, two-dimensionally, just put it flat down, it wouldn't hold anything. Remember, volume is all about how much material can you put on the inside of a figure. So need to make sure that we know what a net is, that the net is the two-dimensional version of the three-dimensional figure. It's just folded out. And you need to be able to find the surface area given a three-dimensional rectangular prism or a net of a rectangular prism. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and show an example real quick. Here's my rectangular prism. Just like with volume, I'm big on drawing the base. Why is that? Because if you look at our formula here, surface area equals big P, which is perimeter of the base, times the height, which will just be the height, times 2 times the area of the base. So anytime you see a capital letter like big P and big B, that means that you're going to have to do work to find that. Lowercase just means you'll just look at the picture. So anytime you have to do anything with the base, perimeter of the base or area of the base, you want to draw the base. The good news is you can choose whatever base you want. I'm going to choose 5 by 4. I like to choose my two easiest numbers to work with when I'm doing the base. And then the biggest number will just be my height, and I don't have to do anything with it except just plug it in the calculator. So my perimeter is going to be this, sum of all sides. And to give you a trick, what I always do is I do what I call the L. I'll do 5 plus 4. This looks like an L, right? So we do 5 plus 4 is 9. Times 2, because there's the other side of the rectangle, will be 18. So again, the L is 5 plus 4 is 9. Then I got to multiply it by 2 because there's the other side of the rectangle. Big B is the area of the base. Oops, can't see that. Let me write that on the side right here. Big B is area of the base. So that's going to be length times width of 8 times height. That's going to be just 5 times 4 is 20. It's getting away from me there. And then my height will be whatever number is missing from this picture that was in the original. So when you draw your base, whatever number you don't draw with this base that was in the original picture, that's the height. So I have 5 by 4 as my base, so when I go back to my original picture, the number that's missing is the 10, so that's my height. Now I have everything nice and organized up right here to plug into my equation. And that's what I want to do. Kids that draw their bases, organize everything, perimeter of the base, area of the base, get everything ready to go to put into the formula, they're going to reduce the probability of them making a mistake quite a bit. So now we plug everything into the formula. Our big P we found, perimeter of the base was 18. Okay, our height is 10. Height is 10 right there. And then we come over here to 2 times big B, in other words, whatever. That doesn't look very good. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so big B is the area of the base, that's 20. And then you just plug it in and work it out. Okay? So, of course, at this point, everybody's going to put this in their calculator and hit enter. But I am just going to go ahead and work it out. 18 times 10 would be 180. 2 times 20 would be 40. So when you add them together, your answer is going to be 220 centimeters squared. Remember, area is a two-dimensional measurement, so it's centimeters squared. So again, surface area covering the outside. You always want to draw your base. Whatever number is missing from your original picture, that's your height. Find the perimeter of the base, find the area of the base, plug it in the equation. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. All I ask on your paper is to have this. You want to write the formula, so you make sure you don't miss anything. You want to write what you're going to put in the calculator in case something goes wrong with the calculator. And then always draw your base and get the height, perimeter, and base. Get everything that you're going to put in your formula ready to go before you start working it. Okay? All right, and then for the extra credit problem, for your discussion problem, the problem is a rectangular prism. It's going to be a real life scenario. So what I have is a box that is 2 by 2 at the base. The base is 2 foot by 2 foot, and it's 3 feet tall. I want to know how much paint it's going to take to cover the outside of that box. So once again, I have a box that has a base that is 2 foot by 2 foot, and it's 3 feet tall. And I want to know, what is it going to take? How much paint will it take to cover the outside? So I need you to find the surface area of it. So one more time, the base of my box is 2 feet by 2 feet, and it's 3 feet tall. Tell me, how much paint is it going to take to cover the outside of that rectangular prism? That's your extra credit problem, and that's the end of the video.